Janice, it's finally here! My degree! Look at it! All of those sleepless nights, all of those sleepless days, they're all worth it because in my hands I have a degree in computer science!
Carmen, look at that degree again. That's an art degree.
Wait, no, wait. But Janice, all of those STEM classes I took.
You took one math class.
It was hard. Hello, my name is Carmen, and this is Janice, and welcome back to my channel.
Our channel.
Yeah, okay.
We went to art school.
Yes, one of us has graduated recently, and Janice is still in there. She was held back. So we're going to be talking about our experience with a public art school. Obviously, there are a lot of great private art schools, but they cost so much freaking money, we didn't even consider it. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are also not even considering private art school because of the cost. So yeah, if you're in that boat, today we're going to be talking about mostly what we liked about art school. The rant video will be later.
At a later date.
At a later date. But yeah, so for some background, the university we applied to did require portfolios. However, because we enrolled at the start of COVID, it was so easy to get in.
So easy.
We were also out-of-state students, so our school really wanted us because, we pay more. For some background, I had a bit of experience with drawing, but I didn't realize how behind the ball I was. I didn't use reference photos. I didn't thumbnail my ideas. I only used the airbrush, and I had zero figure drawing experience. And in spite of my lack of skill, I was just so set in wanting to major in art. There was no other option.
I had a bit of a different background when it came to art than Carmen. I was in out-of-school art classes every weekend since the 6th grade. So
look who's special.
I was the specialist boy, and I never stopped drawing ever. And I was taught to use a lot of references, look at historical artworks for inspiration and other references. Yeah, so art school was kind of the default for me. I knew I was going to go, but I never knew which one.
And I pressured Janice to go to my art school, so
it did not take a lot of convincing.
There was that. So yeah, initially when I started university, my grades were as bad as they could be. I forgot I was in 2 classes because they were virtual, and they were emailing me every day, like assignments, and you're failing. And guess what happened? They failed me. They failed me just because it was midterms and I hadn't turned in a single assignment. They didn't let me pass. But yeah, my GPA didn't tank too hard because I did turn in all of my drawing homework, but art classes hit a different part of me. It hit my pride. My first drawing class involved drawing realistically from observation on paper without blending, and not only were my observation skills poor, I was a late-stage iPad kid.
And if you don't know anything about art classes, you should probably know that most of them require critique. Essentially, your classmates get to view your homework and are required to comment on everything you've done.
I remember one assignment where we had to draw a realistic set of sticks, and it could have been from a photograph, which doesn't sound too hard, but I made it harder. Mine looked like a lot of scribbles. There was so much happening on the page, but none of it looked like sticks. And so the critique day, when it came to my piece, there was just like this silence from the professor. He didn't know what to say, and then finally he was like, why didn't you just erase the edges? And I unmuted myself in the quiet Zoom room, and I was like, oh, I just didn't know you could do that. I was waiting for him to tell us directly what we were allowed to do on our homework, and he didn't say erase the edges of every drawing, so I didn't, and that was bad.
He just said draw sticks.
Yeah, I failed that.
Yeah. And these crits don't even have to happen once the drawing is done. Sometimes the teacher would go around the room while you're drawing to give you critique on it, which is good in theory. But one time I had a figure class where the teacher came up to me about 2 hours into the drawing while I was drawing the figure model in front of us. And I was pretty proud because I thought it looked like the guy. And my teacher did not agree and said to me, I don't know who the hell that is, but that's not our model.
Wah, wah.
I was pretty shocked and a little upset that I had to redo this drawing I'd already spent 2 hours on, but it did come out better when I did it the second try, so he was correct for calling me out.
Oh, restarting sounds like a genius idea. Don't you like it when we restart things together, Janice? Right?
I love it
Yeah.
so much.
The 90th take of this video will be our best one. I am telling you.
I can feel it.
I can tell. But yeah, when deciding whether or not to go to art school, I definitely think the critiques are something huge to factor in because, you know, in economics class, you're never going to be told to hold up your homework to the entire class and have everyone gather around and say, well, that doesn't look like a man. You know,
Yeah.
that's unlikely to happen. I mean, it's probably happened in some economics class. But yeah, by my sophomore year, I was pretty comfortable with critiques, but I do know some people struggled with the anxiety around them. And I'm not going to lie, there were some times when I had a drawing that was really bad, and I just didn't go to class. Personally, I came to the conclusion that even if I drew something bad, it's nice to get eyes on your drawings. And I love attention, so having people gather around and talk about your drawing, that's pretty nice. It's like you're a celebrity. The critiques also add a lot of class camaraderie. When everyone is pressured to interact with each other, even if it's in that stressful environment, it builds a lot of friendships, you know?
There's a lot of characters in your class, and you will meet all of them.
Yes, yeah. Meeting other artists is definitely the biggest pro art school has. At my high school, I wasn't close with any other art kids since the big appeal of my school was its STEM programs. So to me, artists were just like mysterious competitors I lived in fear of. And then there was Janice. Janice was down the street. But when I started going to art school, I came to the realization that art students were just like me, but in a different font. Like, they all are interested in these weird video games and shows and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, and if you were really shy in high school, like some of my friends were, and I was for a short period of time, art school is definitely a place you can meet people with similar interests.
Oh, what kind of interests? What kind? I don't know any.
For example, if you happen to have a 4-year-long Five Nights at Freddy's fixation,
Oh, that one's bad.
then you might find people who could relate.
No, that one's just you.
It's not just me.
No, that's just you. But anyways, it was also nice to meet a group of people who didn't look down on pursuing art. I've become accustomed to jokes about how artists are starving and how you're on the fast track to becoming a trad wife. And don't get me wrong, I had a great time in friend groups with people who didn't draw, but there was a definite disconnect.
They weren't as cool.
Yeah, Janice. Yeah, we're totally cool. Yeah, my time at art school helped me feel less insecure about myself as an artist. Even if I wasn't the best one there, I was confident that I had something unique, but in an art way, not in a weird kid way. I went from feeling like a unique dumb idiot in high school to being just another fish in the sea. And being a fish is good sometimes. Sometimes you want to be that fish.
Yeah. Meeting other artists has also helped expose me to different careers you can pursue in art. There are people with... Stop that shit! Meeting other artists also helped expose me to different ways you could pursue art. I met people with day jobs who sold super cool paintings on the side, people who ran small businesses, Etsy accounts. Don't hate on the day job. Insurance is awesome, by the way. And there's also a lot of opportunities for corporate jobs with an art degree, like concept art, animation jobs.
A lot of opportunities? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for my job. Okay, my job, for example, I take pre-existing art I find on the internet without the artist knowing, and I chop them up and I make these horrifying versions where the hands are all ruined. And I love it. I love it when the lighting is wrong. It's called plagiarism. Oh wait, that job's taken?
It is.
I can't believe this. I needed that. I wanted to be a plagiarizer.
They already got that.
Ever since I was a child.
Okay, so maybe art isn't the get rich quick major, but
It is for me.
but you still get to learn how to draw, and you get to draw like
I'm
every
rich.
day.
I'm rich.
Carmen is a liar. She has not a nickel to her name.
I think for some people it's hard to choose an art major because who wants to admit that to their relatives? That is the worst conversation when you tell your grandfather that you're majoring in art and he says, "Well, what are you going to do with that?" And then he looks at your drawings and he says, "What is this?" I don't know whose grandpa that is, but it's my grandpa.
It's someone's.
It's
The
my
only thing
grandpa.
worse than telling your relatives you major in art is telling them you're a YouTuber.
That would be bad.
That was so bad.
For us, though, I definitely think if we had picked a safer major, we would have flat out failed. I remember in one of our only gen ed classes, it was a math class, we couldn't focus for an ounce of time. We passed notes back and forth and we doodled on each other's paper. And the poor teacher, but it's fine, we passed. But growing up, I definitely thought I had ADHD because of how much trouble I had focusing in school. But I think the reason I struggled to focus stemmed from my disgust for every other class than art. I just wanted to draw.
They weren't as good.
Yeah, it's like I knew I wanted to draw, but I was pursuing everything besides art because I didn't want to take a risk. I was hoping that I would just one day be discovered as a great artist without actually having to put myself out there, and I wanted that to happen by 18.
Delusional.
No, it could still happen for me. It could still happen. But yeah, since I've gone to art school, I've known the job opportunities are slim, but I feel motivated knowing I'm pursuing the life I want. You know?
Get out of my way.
What?
Now, I want to briefly touch on some drawbacks of art school. As previously mentioned, well-managed critiques are really important for studying art. Unfortunately, sometimes people just kind of say whatever they can think of to fill space. And I'm not saying that as an outsider. I might have done this once or twice before. Critiques can get tiring,
I like
okay?
to just say slay sometimes. There have been times where I've just said slay.
Slay. Sometimes your friend is presenting a drawing that's not that great, but you're their friend, and so you say they have a great style. And then other people in similar situations agree, and ultimately the art suffers at the end. The art and the artist. In general, it's very difficult to say something the artist might dislike, but it is a necessity sometimes because you can't just give people compliments. They won't grow like
Where
that.
are my complos?
I
Where
give
are my
her complos
Yeah,
every
yeah, what the
day.
heck?
She needs them to survive and
What-
grow big and strong.
What the heck, man? If I don't get my 5 complos a day, I will explode.
Looking back, I think the best crits I've been a part of were the ones my freshman year, which just doesn't make any sense. But these were great because people were still fresh to the environment and our teacher would push for us to have discussions as a group about the pieces rather than just saying random stuff and hoping it was good advice. This gave us great room to expand on the work and disagree with each other, while the teacher acted as a really nice technical baseline. That said, later into school, it did seem some of that spark my classmates once had for critiques was kind of gone. Some people would barely speak, even if it was to say something good, so it can be a little bit discouraging to show off your work at times when people just sound bored out of their minds.
You know it's a really bad day in crit when you present the drawing you spent 20 hours on and you just hear slay. And then the teacher's kind of like waiting and then someone else says nice. Nice.
And both of those people are Carmen and Janice.
Both of those people are your friends and that you already asked them about how they feel about it and they said they liked it. So
Yeah.
it's
Not very productive.
$400,000 billion well spent,
Oh,
I might
yeah.
say. Yeah. That's a big con of art school as well. I had to see my FAFSA the other day. I did not like that. But that's kind of a thing with getting a bachelor's in general. I will say, if you struggle in school, but you know you like to draw, this might just be a good way to get a 4-year degree without having to take many math classes. If you know you're not going to pass math, maybe don't spend $1,000 on math class. That might be a thing. But yeah, going to art school can be really confusing, and art schools can't guarantee they'll be able to help you improve. And it's easy to get stuck in a trap where your peers have hyped you up into thinking you're an incredible artist, but jobs clearly do not want you. The compliments are nice, but it can make the path even less clear when you're not aware of your actual skill level. Of course, a good portion of critiques will contain good, honest feedback, but I think it's important to note that they don't always provide a lot of substance. Overall, though, I'm glad I picked art as a major. It encouraged me to do things like touch paper and look at a reference photo. If you already knew those things, I might consider if YouTube is enough. Sometimes you can learn a lot from YouTube, but it's definitely not the choice for everyone, and it's very possible art education might drive you to hate pencils, ruin your life, and make your wife want to leave you. There were definitely times when restarting homework, I just wanted to drop out. I constantly complained and said, I want to drop out. Literally the week before graduation, I was like, school may not be done, but I am.
And everyone around her was like, Carmen, no, don't drop out. It's almost over. One more week.
That was a good day.
That was a really good day.
That was a great week before graduation. And I was just like, sunk cost fallacy. Yeah, that's how you get them. I was so right. But yeah, anyways, to wrap up this video and get more insight on the experience, I'd like Janice to share her least favorite part of university.
Least favorite?
Yeah, you kiss ass. No. Okay, fine. Say your favorite part.
Oh my gosh, I love the live figure drawing classes. I love the concept art classes. I love the campus and the park right at the center. The park is amazing.
That's good.
I love the alternative scene and the artsy shows they get to put on and the little art conventions that they sell art at right before the shows.
Oh my god, this guy never quits.
I love the boba. I love that there's so many boba shots all around.
I love that's a part of it.
It's a part of it. I love the night classes. I love the installation pieces and the art exhibits people set up, the vendors in the park and all of that. I rate it 11 stars out of 5 Carmen's next door.
Oh my god. The Grammys? Oh my god. The Grammys? Okay. Hey guys. Janice cut me off when we were recording earlier, but I wanted to share my niche interest, so don't mind if I do. This is called a 3DS. So some of you might not have heard of it because it's pretty niche. But I like the 3DS, and I like to have multiple 3DSs, and I have these pants. I call them my 3DS pants. It's where I have multiple 3DSs on me at all times, because that way, instead of playing games on my phone, I'm just playing different games. I'm playing right now. I'm